Folks, welcome back to the second half of this video. We are talking about Fulton County DA Fani Willis, the corrupt Fulton County District Attorney, and her associates, paramour Nathan Wade, aka ex-boyfriend, and this saga never stops. I always say Fani Willis is the gift that keeps on giving, and in this case, we have another gift. Let's jump right back into it where we left off from earlier today. You know, I am very certain that this alleged backlog Fani Willis says she had when she first took office would probably have been eliminated if she was not traveling all the way around the world with her boyfriend, taking many cruises, going to Napa Valley, all of the many trips they took on your taxpayer dime, on my taxpayer dime, federal, and on the state level. Well, she might have got more done. And of course, she says there's a backlog. Well, how about all the people that have died in jail, in Fulton County Jail, under DA Fani Willis's watch? And how about all the people, as we talked about, that are still there without charges, that have been held up to 2 years without charges, folks? They cannot afford to pay bail. They get out of money. The average wait time across the country is roughly 30 days. In Fani Willis's jail, the average wait time is looking at right about a year. Outrageous, unbelievable. It's not better since she's taken office. What a bunch of blaspheming nonsense. Shame on you, Fani.
You know what? She's an incompetent district attorney based upon the fact that she hired her boyfriend, gave him $650,000 to handle a RICO case about which he knew nothing. The man never tried a felony case. She went on vacation with him 5 times in 6 months and paid him back in cash.
Yeah, incompetent as a DA is an absolute understatement. And published reports has it that she has paid Nathan Wade up to and including up to $1 million. It's still under investigation, but it has no doubt been an extreme amount of money.
Who are we kidding here? But let me just say one more thing. When the judge says the case has an odor of mendacity and a significant appearance of impropriety, when she's claiming that a defendant is a racist at the altar of God, I think that, you know, she's the one who's the problem. And by the way, the reason they want this prosecutorial oversight board is because they feel that they were too many white prosecutors from the Aubrey case in Georgia.
Ah, Jesse, odor of mendacity. Isn't that your cologne?
For $14.99 at Macy's, you can get it right there. So I have a lot of respect for Fani, the way she became DA by saying, I am a black woman, hear me roar. Mm-hmm. Then she screws up and she says any criticism of her is racially motivated. No. That's not how it works. You screwed up. You should be held accountable. They create this commission. Maybe there are 14 black DAs. Well, there's one that needs a little dad in her life, and that's her. Because, Richard, she used taxpayer money for sexual kickbacks. She got caught lying to the judge. Her alibi blew up when the phone records were like, oh, well, you were there from 11 p.m. till 4 a.m. And she was like, hamada. Come on, Richard. Now, this is why she's on MSNBC. They're rehabbing Fani. Because Jack Smith's case has been calendared, so they need to rehab Fani and Judge Merchan. Judge Merchan, he's so conflicted. You have this guy, he's donated to Biden, and the Bidens have given money to his family. And then you have Fani. We just went through a slew of her ridiculous scandals. If these people, because Joe Biden's campaign has flatlined, don't hold up for the next 6 months, it's over. He's losing to Donald Trump in the polls, and now Donald Trump's out fundraising him.
For one quarter. You guys live in a fairy tale world, Jesse, but it's
making it rain, Richard. Making it rain.
Trey, give us your wisdom on this. Where's this?
Well, Jesse is exactly right, folks. This is just part of these woke Democrats. It's just an extension of their continued investigation. And I use investigation in quotes. It's election interference. They know the writing is on the wall. They know President Joe Biden is in mental decline, to put it mildly. They know that the American public is tired of the inflation, the lies, the prices, the way the system has been rigged. They know it's rigged. They can see it's rigged. They don't like this lawfare. They don't like what President Biden is doing to Israel, what he has done to gas pricing, what he has done to the Keystone Pipeline. They don't like these open borders. They don't like any of these policies of the Biden administration, and they are sick of it. They've had enough of it. You can have all these woke Democrats spin these lies as much as they want, but we all know the truth.
Going in terms of the, let's just focus on the Trump case down there.
Well, if I may, as an interlude, prosecutors have incredible power, more power than anyone else in the criminal justice system.
Yes, sir.
They have the power to not only impact your freedom, but your reputation. They can put you in jail. They can ruin your business. They can cost you money. I'm just tired of, regardless of race or political orthodoxy, people running for office promising to target people. You should target crime, not people, target crime. I do blame the candidates, but I really blame the voters. Yeah. I wish voters would say, we are not going to elect prosecutors who engage in politics. I want someone who is going to be fair and just. We got 2 former elected DAs sitting at the table. I don't ever recall politics. I don't recall a political conversation with a cop or a victim or a colleague. I don't remember that. So this new phenomenon, I think, not to get too serious, Greg, but all the other institutions around us are crumbling. If we don't have a justice system that is both respected and worthy of respect, we're not going to make it. And we got to quit hiring prosecutors. And I don't care what color or what gender they are, that promise to go after people and not crime.
Good point, Dana. Care to add anything else?
I feel like we should end on that, but just to contribute, I would say she's in a Biden plus 50 district, so she's going to get reelected. But the problem for her and anybody who wants to see Trump convicted is that she's so discredited. Now they're going to put her on TV and bring it all back up again. I think also she's not paranoid enough. Like, she didn't think 5 steps ahead about what could happen if she just...
Yeah, and the reality, folks, is that if Fani Willis actually did care about justice, and she cared about, as she says, the people of Georgia, the people of the United States, if she truly cared about justice, and that was her primary motivation, she would do what most DAs would do, and that is step aside. She realizes, as the judge said, there's a odor of mendacity, which basically means there's corruption, there's lies, something's not right with this particular case. The judge at the time did not have the courage to remove DA Fani Willis because he's up for re-election. Again, this is the reason why we should not have judges that are elected. They should be more like Supreme Court justices and serve for life, or at least for a very long time period where they can do their jobs effectively and do it in the way justice is intended, equal for everybody and blind. We should not be engaging in this type of character politics, character justice, whatever you want to call it. It should not happen. It should not be allowed. And because of people like DA Fani Willis, this is a real threat to us, folks. And I can only hope that we make the right choices from here on out and take decisive action to correct all this.
Decided to take this action against President Trump, and all the things would come out about the money in the closet and the trips with Wade and all of these things. I think if she had it to do over again, I imagine she would say, I'm going to take a pass on this one.
I'm sure.
All right. Well, we won't take a pass on America.
I totally agree. I think if Fani Willis had to do this all over again, she would think long and hard about it. I'm sure when she was presented with this opportunity, she was thinking to herself, hey, here's a great way for me to make a ton of money, extort a bunch of money to my friend, my paramour, Nathan Wade, and we're going to get very wealthy. Listen, Nathan Wade, Fani Willis, they have never seen this type of money in their entire life. When they had a chance to walk away with $1 million, they took it. My suspicions, from what I can tell from other reports online and just my feeling about this entire case, this is only the tip of the iceberg. I think Fani Willis, Nathan Wade, and their associates have been engaging in all kinds of little shenanigans like this. I've seen other reports involving Nathan Wade where he was requested to produce his work product, and of course, he said his work product is in his brain. In other words, these people, folks, are corrupt. They are a blight on America. They make us a laughing stock. And that is what is so shameful and despicable about this whole thing. You talk about a threat, a real threat to democracy. This is the kind of thing that can bring down a country. This is the kind of thing that does bring down a country. Of course, the Roman Empire fell. And in part, they fell because of corruption. That's the reason why we must always take a very strong hand against corruption, especially public corruption. And today, public corruption looks, like what you see, what's going on with Fani Willis, Nathan Wade, Judge Merchant, this New York Attorney General, Letitia James, Alvin Bragg, these individuals, these special prosecutors like Jack Smith. This is the kind of thing that can undermine our great country. And I can only hope that we do our part and send the right people to Washington to correct this mess. I hope that the United States Supreme Court will step in and take decisive action to protect the presidency, the office of the President of the United States, because if they don't, we're going to really be taken over by the deep state. And what I mean by that is you're going to have the judicial branch effectively swallow up the executive branch, which of course is the president, because if it's not corrected, every president that leaves office and is not loved by everybody from both parties, they're going to always worry about a set of handcuffs waiting on them to be taken to jail, to be indicted. Look what's going on right now. It's still not over with. We just had the state of Arizona just indicted a whole other handful of the same individuals, including 80-year-old Rudy Giuliani, who was served papers on his 80th birthday. Like it's funny. They look for ways to make an example out of people. They look for ways to humiliate people, take their money like they're trying to do with President Donald Trump, take their reputation, and ultimately take their freedom. These people will do this if we don't rise up and stop it. And the first step is to understand what's going on, put a stop to this indoctrination, talk to our family, friends, and neighbors about what's going on. And most importantly, we get to the polls coming up this November. We vote early. We encourage others to vote, and we vote. We know who we need to send to Washington. We know who we need to send to Congress. And folks, we all must do our part. As always, I appreciate you joining me. It's a pleasure when you take time to stop by and visit with me and hear what I have to say. If you have any comments, good, bad, indifferent, please put them in the comments below. I love to hear from each and every one of you. I always say, my friends, keep that mind free, never give up. And until next time, I am J.R. Dukes.